You've seen it before, someone who can't take even the smallest criticism without flipping out. It's like they've built a wall around themselves that shatters the moment anyone points out something wrong. But what if this reaction isn't just about pride? What if it's something deeper, something that shows who they really are? When you encounter someone who reacts this way, it might be more than just defensiveness. It could be a sign of something much more dangerous, something hiding beneath the surface. What makes a person lash out at the slightest critique, turning everything upside down? This behavior isn't just annoying, it could be a clear indicator of a much bigger issue, one that impacts how they interact with others in their life. Let's break down why this happens and what it really means. A narcissist's overconfidence is usually obvious from the start. They often believe they are superior to others and have an inflated sense of their importance. This can show up in conversations where they constantly boast about their achievements or talents, even in situations where it's not relevant. They tend to think they deserve special treatment and expect others to recognize their worth without question. Their overconfidence often leads them to dismiss others' opinions or ideas, believing their way is always the best. In relationships, this can mean they disregard your feelings or needs because they prioritize their own. They may even downplay your achievements or undermine your confidence, as they can't stand anyone being perceived as equal to them. This behavior can be seen in their interactions with people they just met, or even in situations where they should show humility. Narcissists might show off, exaggerate their abilities, or act as though they are flawless. Their overconfidence can create an aura of charm, but it's mostly used to gain admiration and control. Narcissists struggle with empathy, which is the ability to understand or care about other people's feelings. They often fail to recognize when others are hurt or upset. When someone shares a personal problem or emotional struggle, a narcissist might dismiss it, focus on themselves, or even belittle the situation. This lack of empathy also makes them appear cold and uncaring. In relationships, narcissists are more interested in their own needs and desires than the feelings of others. They may ignore or dismiss your emotions, making you feel invisible or unimportant. This can be exhausting and confusing for those around them. They also show little understanding or concern for the impact of their actions on others. If a narcissist hurts someone, they may quickly blame the other person, refusing to take responsibility for their behavior. This inability to empathize also extends to their inability to form deep, meaningful connections with others. Relationships often feel shallow and one-sided. Narcissists have an intense need for admiration from others. They constantly seek attention and validation to feel good about themselves. This can be seen in their behavior, where they fish for compliments, expect others to praise them, and get upset when they don't receive enough attention. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or in social settings, they crave being the center of attention. They may exaggerate their achievements or tell stories to make themselves look superior. This need for admiration goes beyond normal self-esteem. It's about boosting their fragile ego. When they don't get the admiration they want, they can become upset, act defensively, or even lash out. In relationships, a narcissist might constantly demand compliments or praise to feel loved or appreciated. They might also guilt trip others into giving them attention, making them feel like they are owed admiration. Over time, this behavior can exhaust those around them, as it's never enough for the narcissist. Their self-worth is entirely dependent on others' opinions, making them feel entitled to constant praise and validation. Narcissists use manipulative behavior to control or influence others for their benefit. They often twist the truth to make others doubt themselves using gaslighting tactics. For example, If you question their actions, they may deny it, making you feel confused or guilty. They also play on your emotions, knowing how to push your buttons. A narcissist might pretend to care about you, only to use it as a way to get what they want. They might also make promises they never intend to keep, creating false hopes to keep you hooked. Another tactic is love bombing, showering you with attention and compliments at first, only to withdraw it later as a form of control. Narcissists often shift blame onto others, never taking responsibility for their mistakes. This makes it hard to have honest conversations because they refuse to acknowledge any flaws or wrongdoings. Their manipulative behavior can make you feel small, worthless, or always questioning your reality. The goal is to make you dependent on them, weakening your sense of self so they can maintain control. Narcissists cannot handle criticism, even if it's constructive or mild. They see any negative feedback as a direct attack on their self-possession. This reaction often includes rage, denial, or an attempt to turn the blame onto others. For them, being criticized feels like a deep threat to their fragile ego. If you criticize a narcissist, they might act as though it's not their fault, deflecting the issue and making excuses. They often resort to gaslighting, making you doubt your perspective. Their reaction may also be extreme, such as shouting, belittling, or even pretending to be the victim. This makes it difficult for anyone to give honest feedback without fear of an overreaction. They also struggle to learn from mistakes. Instead of reflecting on their actions, they often justify their behavior or deflect blame onto others. This lack of accountability is common in narcissists. Sometimes a narcissist will completely ignore criticism, refusing to acknowledge anything negative. They may shut down or dismiss the issue as unimportant, trying to make it seem irrelevant. This is another way of protecting their inflated self-possession. Overall, their inability to handle criticism highlights their deep insecurity. It's not about the feedback itself, but their fear of being seen as imperfect.